the Metro Realm. Happy Saturday afternoon, I should say. Not exactly kind of a late night show, but hey, you know what? I've got a moon up in the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DMA Live. This is my titular podcast-esque late night talk show where I have a list of things that I read off and I just babble for about an hour or two every month, except this was supposed to be my Leap Day special and I'm already, here's my brand, 2 days late. So apologies everyone, had a bit of a schedule conflict up last minute. I will talk about that a little bit more later on tonight, but first and foremost, welcome. We have done some updates to everything since I was last live. First and foremost, I made sure I actually have the alert on now so I can play this. We have some new sound. In fact, I want to actually, we're about 30 seconds in, so hi everyone. For those who don't know, you are watching DMA Live. I am DanMetroArnold, and we are live here at twitch.tv/DanMetroArnold. This is my first stream in like a week, and that was completely unintentional. Again, I will explain all the reasons why in just a little bit. Firstly, I have some new toys to play with. First and foremost, I have been tinkering around with the alerts, and I finally have an actual proper alert sound that should come up on stream now. So that will be the case. You'll see your name on the chat every time you follow. We also have new alerts for raiders. I will just play the general raider alert for right now. And
welcome DanMetroArnold and your one raiders.
I got Kilometrus integrated into this, so Kilometrus will be reading out certain messages and alerts as things come up. Kilometrus is voiced by Emma as well, but it is my rendition of... It is essentially my Keela, so we've got that. And then I also have another alert that I'll be playing much later, but that is for something that I will share with you all in due time. First and foremost, though, regardless if you can chat with us tonight or not, thank you very much for dropping on by here at the Twitch channel. I do have a special offer that I'm going to promote heavily over the next month or so. We have a special offer for those of you that are hiding in our chat. If you would like a free shout out for just lurking in our stream, once per stream, you can type the command !lurk in the chat. I will be doing that right now, !LURK. And you'll get an audible thanks for dropping on by, such as DanMetroArnold. Thank you very much for hanging on out with us. We appreciate you tuning in while you do whatever you do. So that's basically what happens, and of course it will show up on the screen as well. For those that are also watching us live, we do also have a VODs channel for all of our streams on YouTube, which are replayed in due time. They are coming out next week, and I'm happy about that, which is, again, part of the reason why I haven't been able to start working on Apollo Justice Trilogy is because I was working too much on the thumbnails. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, thank you very much as well for hanging out with us. Make sure, of course, that you like and subscribe on those videos, and come check us out here on the Twitch stream. Our live shows are on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and select Sundays this month, starting about 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Speaking of our schedule, for the upcoming week, our schedule looks to be as follows. Tonight, we are leaping back into streaming, doing our first ever DMA live recording session, and then we'll have some Minecraft free play later on tonight. Sunday, there will be no stream here, but I will be live over with the board of directors on Lord Navas's channel. That would be starting, I believe, about 6 p.m. Central, but don't quote me on that. Tuesday, we'll be live here once again, and I will be blasting back into the Apollo Justice Trilogy Part 8 with the first chapter of Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. That will be starting about 3 p.m. And if my notes are correct, it will take us about 3 to 4 hours. So it will be a lot shorter of a stream compared to the norm. Thursday will be part 9 of Apollo Justice Trilogy, and we'll go over the monster of a turnabout that we have for that. That one, again, might take more closer to the 6 or 7 hours, but we'll try to get that started for us at 3 p.m. as well. Then Saturday, we'll have the Academy part where they missed an opportunity to totally have a pun in that episode title. But Apollo Justice Trilogy Part 10 will be starting at 3 p.m. And then I will be live next Sunday, March 10th. And we'll be doing some Minecraft survival for that episode as well. Other than that, I usually have a dedicated part in my script here to read off any alerts that happened offline. But I haven't had anything come in over the last week, but I do have one shout out for this stream that I would like to give to you all. And it is brought to you by none other than the Metro Realm itself. Our community Discord server for the Metro Realm is now open to the public. Access to the server is available for those that are interested in joining via our website, themetrorealm.net/discord, or by typing in the command !Discord into the chat like I have done just there. And then the other last note that I have to read off before I get into my topics of discussion for this month, I do want to, of course, give a huge shout out to my viewers and my followers for getting us into the double digits of followers for the month of February. I do have a special goal for helping us. Thank you for that, Keela.
Attention. We have an active followers goal to achieve. Play turnabout reclaimed. Let's work to get to 50.
So as I was about to say before I was so rudely interrupted by myself, I have a special goal of getting 50 followers for this month, and I will be unlocking the bonus episode of Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, that is Turnabout Reclaimed. Also, on top of that, I do have 2 more incentives that you can find below the stream. Those will be available only during the playthrough of Apollo Justice Trilogy, so it'll be for the rest of this month. Upon reaching 100 followers, I will be playing through Turnabout Time Traveler, the bonus episode of Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. And then upon reaching 150 followers, I will have an Easter Sunday screening of the Asinine Attorney episodes from the original Spirit of Justice game. So, as far as a call to action before I get started with the stream, make sure, of course, if you are hanging out here in the chat, feel free to give us a follow, and let's work to see if we can accomplish those goals and get to 150 so I can do all that I have set out to do for this playthrough. Again, those goals will be changing next month when we announce our next game for the list of game cleaning, so do keep that in mind. All right, I know that was a lot of babbling here, and this specific segment is going to be Babble City, as we're going to be entering properly into our Just Chatting segment, and I will be getting my other script ready for my proper DMA live conversation. I do have one final note before I get into things as well. Tonight, there's going to be a lot of adult content and a lot of language of that nature is going to get said. Obviously, I do apologize in advance, but the opinions that I express from this part of the stream are of my own and not of MK Intermedia as a corporate entity. I'm going to try my best to keep to a list of notes, but for all the major segments going forward, I will try to keep to a timer of about 10 to 15 minutes per segment. And I will try to have that timer up on my side. It won't be on screen, but I will try to keep that up for consistency's sake and try to help keep things moving along. There is going to be an opportunity at the end of this episode where you can ask the guest, and you can submit questions in the chat, and I will answer them. So for tonight, you can certainly ping me, and of course, our special guest, who I will introduce here in a little bit. But firstly, I want to talk to you a little bit about DMA Live. DMA Live is my take of a late night talk show, but without the politics and a lot more gaming. I have in my possession a list of topics to point out and address, and they are of various different things, from gaming to social media to content creation and more. I also try my best to sometimes bring on some guests and give my community an opportunity to hang out with our guests and chat with them live as well. And we'll also have a little bit of music from YouTube, but I am trying to figure out exactly what it is that I want to play tonight, because I've had some difficulties in the past, as we all know, with playing some music. So, let us find something. You know what? I haven't listened to this OST in a while. Let's play that for a little bit. So, that's a horrible one to start off with. All right. Actually, no. I changed my mind. I'm gonna go proper for a little Minecraft mixtape, just because I can. That's much better introduction. So, our first guest for DMA Live needs almost no introduction. He is an up-and-coming content creator from both Twitch and YouTube. He has a couple of pets and a handful of games, and he is also, coincidentally enough, your host for DMA Live. So for this episode, you are welcome to send questions in the chat, and when I have the opportunity to answer them, I will certainly go ahead and take the initiative as best as I can to answer some questions that show up in the chat, and I will respond to them as best as I can. As far as everything else is concerned, if you would like to support DMA Live, I do have an item in the Stream store, or the Stream Element store, that I will need to adjust. It is currently set at 5,000. I might bump that down a little bit, just based off of how much help I need with this. But you can submit questions once per week. I would like to get this to a weekly basis where I'm streaming this specific thing on Friday nights. But you can submit your questions or topics to me in the Stream Element store. They will be featured in an upcoming episode of DMA Live. You will get credited, of course, by Twitch name or by another name of your preference. And you can, of course, make sure to include that as well amongst the requirements. So, with that said, let us go right into tonight's topics. Tonight, we're going to be covering basically a little bit of a weekly recap of where I've been and what I've been up to, and then I'm going to bounce back to what I had on my regular list. I'm going to go over just some stuff about the Twitter and why I've left that, and a little bit about my stance on cancel culture and how that's been impacting me. I will cover a little bit about YouTube retirement and how I'm going to be getting involved in that. And then lastly, as I said, I'm going to have a dedicated segment for you all where I'm going to have a timer up for about like 5-10 minutes for people to just post questions, and I will answer them whenever. Beyond that, though, let's get right into it. So, hi. I haven't had a proper chance to do a whole lot of tinkering with setups and whatnot, but that was a lot of a mouthful in that last 20 minutes. And as far as where I've been in the last week, I have not streamed at all. My plan was I was going to go on to the board of directors on Sunday night. That never happened. So I figured, okay, that's perfectly fine. I can just go and have my normal schedule for the week. We'll do kind of a Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday deal. And then I made the executive decision that Tuesday was not going to happen. I had some appointments that happened to have occurred early in the morning, and that completely effed me up. I will say that. Um, Tuesday morning, I went in for an appointment. It was not for me, it was for one of my pets. Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night, I was conked out, and my entire sleep schedule got completely overturned because of that. So, with that in mind, here's kind of a rough recap of everything. Tuesday occurred, and that, of course, came and went. Wednesday didn't really happen because the only times that I was up, I went and had meetings all evening. So, unfortunately, I did not get a chance to stream on Wednesday. Thursday rolled around, and unfortunately, I had an issue with the script on Thursday and was not able to go live. And it was also because I went to bed thinking, oh, I'll get up at like 5:30 and be able to still stream that night. And then I woke up, looked at my clock, and said, oh crap, it's 7:30. Well, so much for that idea. And that's when I decided, you know what? I was completely in a rough spot. So I went and took a step back and assessed a lot of the stuff that I wanted to change for DMA Live, and took this quote-unquote weekend, Thursday, Friday, I say, to kind of polish things up and look into where I want to go moving forward. Obviously, Saturday is this stream. I'm just going to be chatting with you all right here for DMA Live, and then we're going to be doing, obviously after the stream, I'll be doing other things. And then Sunday is going to happen, and I'm not going to be left that either. So this is the only chance that I had to stream this week. So that's basically been my week for the last little bit. But I have done some improvements to my streams. I have taken upon myself to start working on some proper notes for game cleaning, just so we don't have to alt-tab to several different windows at once. Game cleaning is still going to happen. Don't worry. I am planning on starting that off, like I said, next Tuesday. But the rest of the Apollo Justice trilogy is not going to be blind. Progression is going to be a little bit faster. I'm going to be focusing a little bit less on voices because I want to try not to kill my voice at the same time. And obviously, most of the research that I've done for the Apollo Justice trilogy up until now has been with gracious help of Strategy Wiki, and I am proud to have that as an actual resource in my game cleaning for this month, and then also with the next game that I will announce later. My editor is furious because he is so super excited for this next game, but I'm keeping mums as far as the status of where it's at because I may change things up a little bit last minute. There is potentially a new game that I might play instead, just depending upon how I'm feeling after AJT, but that is the main plan. Is we're going to focus on the rest of Apollo Justice trilogy for the rest of this month, and again, I'm going to focus less on the voices so I don't overdo it, so I can actually possibly do some other recording off camera for other proper channels. And yeah, that's basically it for game cleaning. For Minecraft Stream Survival, we're going to go back to the drawing board on that, sadly. As a concept, that was a decent idea. I just don't have the real estate right now to properly play Minecraft and be able to have a chat open on another screen. I need to rework my layout specifically for that just a little bit more. The 2 pilot streams that I did, I'm not going to publish those VODs, but the other VODs I will get published in due time. And then, because it wouldn't be fair for me to have had that world started and then go into other things, I will be starting the next Minecraft stream survival on a brand new world, which again is part of the rules of stream survival is until I'm fed up with the world or I get tired of it in some fashion, I think it is, that world will just be what I play on. You may also notice I have done some cosmetic stuff. I have improved some stuff with alerts. I have improved some stuff with some of the panel arts. I do have room as well to put in some emotes, but I'm not planning on doing any art commissions at this time. This month I want to heavily focus on just getting consistency up and running and get the stream polished enough to the point where I feel confident in getting the VODs out in a timely fashion. And then after I get that out, I believe that is the main block that I will need in order to springboard into, okay, now we've got a stream that is being published. Let's work on making that even prettier, shall we? Other major thing is regarding kind of like the layout and design. You might notice I do have the on-screen chat and I do have alerts on screen. When I'm specifically recording for game cleaning streams, I'm going to have a better indication that I'm recording and that those settings are going to be paused. So that way I can focus more on the game at hand, and then I will try to cut in about every 60 to 90 minutes or so to just play through the backlog of alerts and just give my shoutouts accordingly from there. For game cleaning streams, again, I do want to reiterate, the intent of the stream is to focus on the game, not so much the viewers. I do appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting with me and giving me suggestions, but I do want to focus on like getting the game recorded and out to YouTube, as that's the primary intent of doing the live game cleaning for you all. But I will have opportunities to chat with you guys in my intermission screens, in this little scene where I'm just chatting with you all. And it is my intent to have a better indication of, hey, I'm on air recording versus, hey, I'm going to be hanging out with you guys. I'm going to try my best to work that into the layout somehow, but that's going to be something that I'll have to do over the next couple days into my weekend here. And all in all, I think that has been it as far as what I'm up to. So I'm going to take a quick pause on the timer here and say hello to a couple of you in the chat. So hello, Emma, once again. How is it going today? Well, as today concerns, it is probably the best that I've been in the last week since Saturday, when I was running off of just a couple hours of sleep and literally a cup or two of coffee. I've had, in this entire week, I've had 4 or 5 cups of coffee, and that counts 2 cups that I had at a diner on Tuesday morning / afternoon after my appointment with a pet, and then I had 2 cups here at home, and then I might have cup number 3 tonight. I'm not all too sure. Question from... I do have a question of note from the other thing. What's going on with AJT from Ben the Millennium himself? Thank you very much for bringing that up and reminding me for like the umpteenth time. Apollo Justice Trilogy, I have decided is not going to happen tonight. I need to go and update that on my custom status. I have decided to push that back to Tuesday instead because I felt it was going to be complicated scheduling wise because I've got the March 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th, 14th, and then I'm not going to be live the 16th or 17th as well. So specifically in regards to that, that's going to be, those 5 streams are going to be all dedicated towards Dual Destinies. I will have potentially the 8th and the 13th as well available for backup dates if something goes awry. Specifically with the 5th, if things go awry on the 5th, I will just do 7, 8, 9. And then I will have 12, 13, 14 if I'm unable to finish an episode. Or finish up to the last episode. Because I want episode March 14th, Pi Day. Ha ha ha. I want that to be the finish of Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, specifically. And then, for Spirit of Justice, I will be coming back from St. Patrick's Day, off of that, 19th, 21st, 23rd, 26th, 28th, and 30th. Those 6 streams, those 2-week blocks, are going to be entirely dedicated to Spirit of Justice. The 5th episode is going to be split into 2 parts because there is a part that is set in the native land and then a part that is set abroad. Of course, I'm trying to keep things a little bit more generic for those that have not played Spirit of Justice, but it is my intent to split that at a reasonable halfway point and then do the second part as kind of like a little finale, because like with part 7, with the finale being a little bit shorter, I think that the second part being in the latter half of the whole episode, or the latter half being the abroad part of the episode, putting that on its own date will allow us to just clear our mind, have a proper reset, and it also will save on my notes because that specific episode would be super long anyway. So, with that said, again, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to put another 10 minutes block because I want to talk a little bit about cancel culture, which I'm not proud of. Again, I'm going to probably put Frost command up in the chat, as some stuff is probably going to get said that I'm going to be really angry about. So, apologies in advance, but we're getting into the salt of the stream. Basically, why did I leave Twitter is the whole spawn of this question. I left Twitter for various different reasons. The main thing that I want to emphasize is that I did not leave because I dislike Elon Musk or the standards that he had put onto the platform. I do respect him as a businessman and a business professional. I do appreciate what he is trying to do for SpaceX, for Tesla, and for just overall trying to help improve the world in his own fashion. What I do hate, though, is that since his acquisition of the platform, Twitter, in my personal opinion, and again, this is my entire opinion, not of MK Intermedia, Twitter has become a bit of a mismanagement cesspool for content moderation and primary user focus. They expect users to shell out $8 plus in order to get all of the general features and some of those features that were previously available to individuals without having to pay anything, just based off of their respect and their validity in the community. So I decided, rather than going on over to Blue Sky or to Threads, which those were valid options for me to consider, but they weren't exactly around in 2022 when I made this decision the first time. What was most popular was I was hearing a lot about Mastodon. Mastodon is a free open source software social media platform that is built in the Fediverse. What that means is there are multiple instances of a platform managed and owned and operated by multiple different people. And those people are in charge of their specific instance and who has access to what the Mastodon content they want on that instance. But most of the services are offered free of charge, with an asterisk in that you can show your support, but some of them it is not required. Like some people just willingly splurge out the money to be able to finance an instance. And Mastodon.social specifically is by far the largest instance that is public, and you can like join and do whatever off of that platform. But there are other instances available, such as my instance, toot.io, and I'm proud to be on Mastodon instead of Twitter. My plan for DMA Live in the long term is I want to get a proper Fediverse instance for the Metro realm. And I'm thinking it might be Mastodon, it might be another ActivityPub-esque type of platform. It might be something similar to Cohort, where I can have like unlimited characters and just type out whatever comes to mind. But the whole eventual goal of it all is I want to be able to take your support and put it back to the community to help create a instance of social media where the content that you want to promote is in your hands. And Mastodon, I feel, has been the best case of me being allowed to see the content that I wanted to see specifically. There's no recommendation stuff. I have to literally go out and find people on Mastodon and add them to my list, and then I just see by default a list of all of the stuff that I have been following. I can also follow by specific hashtags, so hashtag DMA Live, hashtag Minecraft, hashtag Nintendo Switch, hashtag Twitch streaming. I can see those, and when people tweet you or toot using those hashtags, I get to see them and get to acknowledge them as well. And the main reason, again, why I left Twitter for Mastodon circles back to cancel culture. And in my own personal opinion, I feel that cancel culture has somewhat gotten out of hand as of late. I have dealt internally with 3 different cases in the last 6 months of individuals being quote unquote canceled through allegations and through presenting of evidence. And Twitter just literally eats that crap up and just spits it out. They take any honest person, find one small thing about them that's horrible, and they just use it to trash their life for the rest of time. As much as I wish to say that I do appreciate certain individuals being like called out on their misactions, I wish people honestly would just leave it the F alone. I want to have a community over here that is built on the respect and responsibility that everyone should still have to be a part of this community. If you honestly don't foot that bill, you're not going to be respectful on here, and you're not going to be responsible for your own actions, plain to the point, I'm not going to allow you to be a part of my community. Just straight up. Obviously, my silence and my vagueness in not naming any names specifically does not mean that I'm complacent or I agree with the actions that have been done by certain individuals. Obviously, for the users that I have been personally involved with and the users that I have been associated with over the last couple of years, my heart, of course, goes out respectively to everyone that's involved, both to the victims as well as to the individuals who legitimately would like to try to better themselves. I'm willing to give you guys a proper chance, and I feel if they properly demonstrate that they are capable of making a change and coming back to the community better than ever, then they have every right to do so, and I will support them no matter what decision they make. At the end of the day, nobody is perfect, not even myself, and I'm also going to just lastly comment that if you're going to come to my community at large, and I'm just saying, like my Discord, my Twitch stream, my YouTube comments, if you're going to come anywhere near me and even remotely think that your morals are higher than others, including higher than myself, then they don't. And it spins back to, again, I want to have a community that's built on respect and responsibility for their actions. That is a prime example of you not footing that bill, and you most likely not have a place in my community. Be that said, though, I am open to constructive criticism. I am open to improvements, and I am open to feedback. I do know certain things that I am working on, and there are even things that I'm making notes of even during my conversation and during this recording that I will be taking into heart as I move forward in my streaming and recording career. So, at the end of the day, again, nobody is perfect. Please just treat each other with kindness and respect, um, especially the victims. As again, most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, the victims do have some legitimacy to their claims, and I personally believe that hearing all sides of the story and having all of the evidence in front of you helps to have a proper verdict or a proper decision being made. It's the main reason why Ace Attorney stands out to me so much is it the cases are less of trying to get a verdict of guilty or not guilty and more a case of we're trying to get to the bottom of what exactly went down. And that's why I feel Ace Attorney is the proper game for me to start with in my whole saga as a content creator. So, with that said, I do not see any new questions in any of my chats. And I do not have any other notes I need to discuss for this specific topic. So I'm going to move on and reset my timer. We're also going to talk a little bit about YouTube as a platform. Yes, I am planning on still doing stuff on YouTube, but I have also noticed that a lot of people, and I'm just going to name a couple of names out here in general sake here, but it's a number of people have recently come on board and said that they are either severely changing the amount of content that they specifically are producing, or they are completely overhauling their style of production, focusing more on quality of content over the quantity of content. The main reason why I believe people are doing that, I believe it stems from the fact that if you do the same job for 5-10 years plus, sooner or later you will get tired. I personally have experienced that. I've had a job for about 5.5 years. That last half year, those last 6 months, were an absolute nightmare compared to the first 5. It was like every single day for that last 6 months specifically, I was just doing the same old thing, just trying to make a quick buck, and it just wasn't working for me anymore. I didn't have the right mentality, and that paired with the fact that social media is continuing to evolve as a platform. YouTube has changed over the last couple of years. They have integrated YouTube Shorts. They have integrated proper clipping and live streams for their specific channels. They have had various different things where you can essentially go live on Twitch, but also rebroadcast on YouTube or on other platforms. And that is not something that was even a remote possibility 5-10 years ago. So we're basically, in my opinion, at the point where we have essentially passed by the quote-unquote golden era of YouTube. The content creators who were popular and famous back in 2012, 2013 are moving on, and in their place we have content creators such as just again to name a few, we have Mr. Beast is a prominent one. PewDiePie has kind of stepped back and off to the side, but he was in the first category. PewDiePie's kind of retired. Captain Sparkles, who is a huge name in the Minecraft S community, he's no longer producing Minecraft solely on his primary channel. MatPat, the game theorist, is handing off his channel to other people. So a lot of people have either moved on over the last couple of years, or they have severely decided that producing content on a daily basis just isn't working out. And I agree. If I were to do daily videos just from July to December, we're going to assume 30 days per month on average, because I do know July and a couple other months do have 31. That in of itself is like 180, 190 videos that have to get recorded, edited, and uploaded. And if we were to do that in like 2010, 2011, when the cap on YouTube was 15 minutes, yeah, that's pretty easy to just like push record, go for like 10, 15 minutes, stop record, boom, upload it, you're done. This has kind of evolved to now we have proper editing software to make movie quality videos on YouTube. And that, I feel, is something that is nothing to cough at in any light and sense. So it kind of begs the question, exactly what am I planning on doing about all of this? As you guys know, we have DMA VOD's channel, which is going to upload archives from the live stream, DMA Live. My plan is to still do that. I am planning on starting a new chapter from ground zero as well onto YouTube, and I'm planning on recording original content and new adventures for both my main channel, youtube.com/@DanMetroArnold, and then for my Minecraft channel, DMA Minecraft. Both of those, of course, are going to take some time. So I'm not committing to anything right now, but again, we're about like 2 or 3 months out. It will be July, and it is my intent by July I will have that all sorted out, and I will have the means to say, hey, let's say like July like 8th or 9th, specifically, just rattling a date out here, I will have videos out for you guys on a weekly basis. And that's the target that I'm setting, is weekly, because that gives me 26 videos, which is a much more obtainable target to reach compared to 190. Again, there's going to be a lot of content for the next couple of weeks and months that are going to require a lot of editing and post-production. YouTube is not, at the end of the day, the destination, and neither is Twitch. My plan is to use both of those platforms equally and utilize them to the best of my abilities to help promote DMA and everything outside of their respective platforms. As far as anything else outside of that, I can neither confirm nor deny any inclusion of any other platform at this present time. I have made comments that I would eventually like to go on to Kick, but again, I can neither confirm nor deny if that will ever actually happen within this year. But if things don't pan out specifically on Twitch or on YouTube, I may move over to other platforms. That is entirely an option that I will be considering as kind of a backup, but I make no promises or guarantees as far as what I will be doing in that front. Specifically for DMA Live, not much is going to change on stream. As I mentioned, though, there is going to be a slight cutback of streams over the next couple of months. You may have noticed already when I listed my schedule out the first time, I said Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and select Sundays. I will be keeping that as it is for this month, but I will be switching that around to just Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and select Saturdays and Sundays after March. So we'll essentially be gaining a third stream in the middle, which will be doing specific Minecraft-esque content that I will disclose at another time. But streams are going to focus a little bit more on Minecraft, onto 1KMC, and they're going to have a little bit more of free play gaming as well. There's been some talk about maybe I should play some other Switch games. There's been a couple of other Steam-esque games as well that I could play through, and I might still cover those in due time. As far as anything else after Apollo Justice Trilogy, I, again, do have one other game in mind that I know for sure I will be playing, but game cleaning may not be long-term what I will be doing on this channel. I might just back off for a little bit and focus more on Minecraft-esque stuff for a little while, just to build an audience, and then I will spiral off and do maybe a stream or two of game cleaning over the next couple of months. All right? And that has been my stint of like 10 or 20 minutes of rambling about like stuff that I wanted to cover for the most part. If anyone is lurking in the chat and they have a question that they would like to ask DMA live for free, I will give you permission to do so now. If anyone is hanging out in the chat, do we have anyone hanging out in the chat? We do have one or two people. Ben, I see you typing in the Discord. What do you got for me? Ooh. Right. Right. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for bringing that up, because I completely forgot to bring that up earlier. I want to talk a little bit about one other thing that I wanted to cover, which is specifically the Metro Realm. Our community Discord server, as I mentioned, is open to the public. We are working on getting a couple of things polished up with that still. As such, we did have one minor purge over the last week. We are going to not purge anything else after this time round. So those that join the server are in it. Basically what happened was we took anyone who did not make any sort of message or comment within the last 6 months plus, and they got booted from the server. And I think anyone who has not been online in over a year has also been booted as well. So that is everything all done and dusted there. I've also been asked to go in and see if I can do a quick little show off of our Discord server, but I'm not too sure if I've got that window open, unless I can show that properly. No, I cannot, because that's, So Ben, I do not have a proper means of showing my screen, because I have streamer mode on right now. So yeah, never mind then. Yeah. But what Ben wanted to do was, he wanted us to have the rules up on screen so that we could go through them on DMA Live, just so we've got them on here. And for the rules being about 7 months old, they're still fairly straightforward, and like those rules I might translate on over to like the stream and other things. Basically, the primary rule is just follow the Discord community guidelines on the Discord. Any rules within the guidelines, of course, supersede our own. Any changes made to the Discord community guidelines are retroactively applied in due time to the Metro Realm as well. Beyond that, a couple of major things that are of important relevance. Don't be a dingus. Members should treat each other with kindness and respect, and avoid making any mean, rude, or harassing comments or threats. Obviously, members should also avoid using profanity, derogatory language, or any behavior that will make others feel uncomfortable or disrespected. We also have a request as well for those that wish to advertise or promote stuff, to share that content in the designated media channel with permissions if they have a creator role, or if the content they share is relevant and provides value for the community. Advertising in direct messages is not allowed and will result in an immediate ban. And then, of course, the other major thing that we have to note is additional rules are subject to change for each individual and are posted in either the description and or the pinned messages of each channel. Members are furthermore asked to respect the purpose of each channel and keep the content relevant to the designated topics within. Beyond that, the Metro Realm Command Crew, which comprises of myself, drones, and any other appointed individual, we reserve the right to penalize, kick, mute, or ban members that violate these rules at their discretion. If you have any issues with the staff themselves, please feel free to reach out to me via email, and I will work with you as best as I can to resolve the issue. Alternatively, you can also try to message me, or it might be best if you message Kilometrus directly, and we'll be able to resolve that on your own over there. So try not to message me, as I do get some DM spam, but definitely message Kilometrus if you can't reach me, or message Ben Murphy. Unless the issue is with Ben specifically, then do try to email me as well, and I will work with you as best I can to resolve that issue. Other than that, that is all that I wanted to talk about for DMA Live. So I guess I will do one last call of any questions that are available in the chat right now. If anyone has any final questions or comments that they'd like to add to this episode of DMA Live, feel free to speak now, or you will probably not get a chance to until end of March, I believe. Or actually, no, it'll probably be early April will be in my next episode. And I'm going to have a timer up on my personal end for about another, let's just say about another 3 to 4 minutes for anyone who has any questions. Why do I bob up and down? Oh, yeah, that's a small thing with how I have this set up to be able to talk on specifically my setup. So that is a unique little thing where I've actually added a little animation to my character, so that way I can actually bob up and down and say something when I am recording, or whenever I'm talking, actually. I just do a little bounce. Ooh, good final question, Ben. Alright. I think, given my time, this will be my final question. When are VODs going to be available for DMA Live Replayed? Soon. Again, part of the reason why I have delayed Apollo Justice Trilogy until Tuesday is because I wanted to get the rest of the thumbnails ready to go so I can upload all of the streams all at once. My plan is to still get those all out there. And in fact, I have officially confirmed that I have not had to edit anything too major out of the streams. So you'll probably get the edited cuts of everything from the Twitch VOD itself, and we'll have that all good to go. With that said, though, do I have my... Do I have that specific thing in here? Where is it? I'm on the blasted thing. You would think that I would have it. Criminy. It would just be cheaper for, it would just be faster for me to look it up on here. Oh, it's not even in here. What? Oh, there it is. Okay. Found it! With that said, that is going to be it for this episode of DMA Live. For those of you that are watching on the stream, we are going to go to intermission after I cut the recording, and we will go and start up Minecraft afterwards. For everyone else, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next adventure. Part all I got going for